Once again, we hear another Labour MP talking about what they call a massive rise in anti-Semitism across the UK. Yet when pressed on where it's coming from, they stay silent. That silence is telling, because the uncomfortable truth is that much of the anti-Semitic behaviour we've seen in recent months hasn't come from so-called far-right groups, but from sections within the Islamic community. That's not an opinion. It's supported by police data and countless reports from Jewish organizations. But for some reason, our politicians refuse to say it out loud. We'll dive into this story in today's video, but before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Right now, only 12% of viewers are subscribed, so join the community and help us grow. Why is that? Because if the problem fit their preferred narrative, if it came from white working class Britons or anyone labelled far right, the government would be shouting it from the rooftops. They'd be quick to condemn, to point fingers, to lecture the country about intolerance. But when the hatred comes from a group that doesn't fit that story, they suddenly lose their voice. The double standard couldn't be clearer. This isn't about blaming an entire community. It's about being honest about where the problem lies so it can be tackled properly. Pretending otherwise only fuels division and resentment. The government and the opposition alike owe the public and the Jewish community some honesty. Anti-Semitism is anti-Semitism, no matter who spreads it. And if we're serious about stamping it out, then we have to be brave enough to call it what it is, wherever it comes from. Have a listen to this.
Do you understand why your colleague David Lammy was jeered in Manchester on Friday?
There is a lot of hurt and anger in the Jewish community, rightly so, and emotions are raw, so we get it. And look, what is the truth? The truth is there has been a rise in anti-Semitism. We have seen an increase in hate crime actually across the piece. Religious hate crime is increasing. So there is a problem, and we've got to get to the heart of that problem. It is not right. It is not acceptable that the Jewish community don't feel safe in this country. We've got to do the job of rooting that out. And the government has a really important role to play in that, but we all have an important role to play in that. There cannot be hatred and division, and we all have to stand up against that.
At the heart of this issue is honesty. You can't fight hate by ignoring where it comes from. The moment politicians start picking and choosing which forms of anti-Semitism to condemn, they lose credibility and divide the country even more. The truth shouldn't be filtered to protect anyone's image or political interests. Every group must be held to the same moral and legal standard, no exceptions. The police, the media, and the government must show the same courage in confronting anti-Semitism from Islamist extremists as they would from anyone else. Real equality means equal accountability. If our leaders can't even name the source of a problem, how can they ever hope to solve it? Silence in the face of hatred is not neutrality, it's complicity. And Britain deserves better than that. In other news, Keir Starmer has been warned that Britain's digital ID scheme could become a goldmine for hackers and scammers to steal your money. Labour's plan to introduce digital ID cards for all Britons is based on an Estonian system, but experts have raised the alarm over cybersecurity vulnerabilities already seen in the Baltic state. The Prime Minister revealed on September 26th that the mandatory digital ID would be essential for proving the right to work in the UK. He claimed that introducing digital IDs would tackle illegal employment and provide countless benefits to Britons. The documents, which GB News has been told will not be called Brit cards, draws inspiration from Estonia's 2-decade-old digital identity program, which allows its 1.4 million citizens to access government services, vote, and conduct banking through electronic cards. However, Estonia's system has experienced significant security failures, with fraudsters successfully stealing millions of euros from citizens through sophisticated scams and data breaches. Estonian authorities recorded 837 major fraud incidents last year, with citizens losing over 7 million euros to criminals exploiting the digital ID system, according to official figures revealed by the Daily Mail. The losses have escalated dramatically, with 7.5 million euros stolen in just the first half of this year alone, though experts believe the actual figures are significantly higher due to unreported cases. Criminals have developed increasingly sophisticated methods to circumvent the system's encryption, primarily through phishing schemes that trick users into revealing their PIN codes. The fraudsters then gain access to victims' bank accounts, with many cases involving fake communications from supposed government officials or banking representatives who convince citizens to disclose their security credentials. In a recent incident, a 73-year-old woman from Pulva County, Estonia, lost €30,000 after fraudsters posing as electricity officials and bank staff convinced her to share her ID card PIN, the Daily Mail reports. Another case involved a woman from Idaviru County who allegedly disclosed her PINs during fake calls from Estonia's rescue board and her bank security department, leading to a €6,000 loan being fraudulently obtained. These schemes typically involve convincing Estonian-speaking callers and professionally written emails without spelling errors, making detection difficult. Security experts warn that Britain's proposed digital ID database would become an irresistible target for cybercriminals and extortion groups seeking to exploit citizens' personal information. Duncan McCann from Good Law Project said the centralized system would be a highly valued prize for hackers, predicting it was only a matter of time before such data appeared on the dark web. It is impossible to make a 100% secure system, Mr. McCann explained, adding that aggregating everyone's personal details, employment rights, and photographs creates an exceptionally valuable dataset for fraudsters. The constant access required by employers to verify workers' rights would create numerous entry points for potential attackers, he warned. Despite government claims about tackling illegal immigration, experts question whether digital IDs would achieve this goal, as many irregular migrants arrive seeking welfare benefits rather than employment. Reform UK has dismissed the Prime Minister's proposals, suggesting the public recognises that Sir Keir is continuing the Tory legacy of high taxes and mass immigration. More than 2.8 million people have signed a petition against the proposed digital ID scheme. In a response issued on October 2nd, the Department for Science, Innovation and Technology said the new system will be designed in accordance with the highest security standards to protect against a comprehensive range of threats, including cyber attacks. We will launch a public consultation in the coming weeks and work closely with employers, trade unions, civil society groups, and other stakeholders to co-design the scheme and ensure it is as secure and inclusive as possible. Following consultation, we will seek to bring forward legislation to underpin this system. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.